Hi everyone, I'm back with another film review, and this time it's John Wick 3 Parabellum. So we're going to do our usual thing. Should you go see it? Should you go see it in the cinema? Then we'll have a break and I'll talk about the film, and then I'll have another break for spoilers. This will be pretty short though. It's John Wick 3, third in a series, and if you know the John Wick series at all, you know pretty much what you're going to get. Let's just get on with it. Should you go see this? If you are a John Wick fan, you have to see this. If you are an action fan, you have to see this. I don't know if you necessarily have to see it in the cinema. It's not that type of film, but you probably want to see it while everyone's still talking about it. I will say this, in order, I think John Wick is the best. John Wick 2, I thought was very average to borderline mediocre. I thought it ran out of steam, and John Wick 3 is much better, a big improvement. So I definitely would be seeing it if you're a John Wick or Keanu fan. Okay, I'll be back in a second and we'll talk about this film. As I said, this will be pretty short because it's the third helping of a very big meal. If you think about it, John Wick 3, from the beginning of John Wick to the beginning of John Wick 3 is only about 4 days. So one of the themes in this film is you see Keanu Reeves, or John Wick, is actually tired. Towards the end of the film, he's actually got to take a breath because he literally has been just killing, I don't know, he must have killed 400 people in like the last 4 days. Like, it's kind of crazy. So anyway, look, it's directed by Chad Stahelski, who did the first one, and written by Derek Kolstad. I'll just check that name. Yeah, Derek Kolstad. So that's the guy who wrote the first one, the second one, the third one, and they've had the same production team. The reason why I say that is often, you know, you'll have a big hit like John Wick, and then the sequels are done by other guys who might be up and comers, like a young James Cameron doing Piranha 2, but you know, they've kept the same team. So you have got like a general level of, you know, good filmmaking. They know what they're doing, and the choreography especially is equal to the other films. So you have the same cast pretty much come back with, you know, the main guy, Keanu Reeves as John Wick, but also you have Ian McShane as Winston, Lawrence Fishburne as the Bowery King. So you got all the main players, and the big introduction, I guess, is Halle Berry is in this film as one of the, you know, people who runs like an outpost of the Continental Hotel. So one of the things that I want to talk about is the mythology is even better in this film, and I think that's what sets John Wick apart from a lot of other action films. Is there's John Wick, there's the great Asian style choreography but done in Western cinema, and then there's the mythology of the way that they use all these special hotels and coins, and there's these other things which are these icons that you can use for really big things where you've done like a blood oath or whatever. And I find that really interesting because it gives the world so much more richness. And then you have the action on top of it. So this film, the action is really, really good. I found towards the end, though, it got a little bit tedious. There's only so many Keanu Reeves headshots that you can kind of watch in a row. Look, this is a good film, really good for action film. We'll come back because there's one thing I want to talk about in spoilers. Okay, bye. Spoilers. John Wick lives. Well, does he? Yes, he does, but it's kind of cartoony level by the end of the film. So I'm assuming if you're in spoilers, you've seen the film. And it's a bit crazy, but it allows us to have, guess what? John Wick 4, because this is a money machine. The two things I wanted to talk about. One is there's a theme in this film which I found really quite weird, and that is that the main villain, for want of a better word, everyone's a villain in this film, is Zero, and he's played by Mark Dacascos. who I kind of, you know his face, but I didn't really know him as an actor. Now, he's really good in the choreography and stuff. I found him a little bit off-putting. And one of the things that his character has as a attribute is he's a fanboy of John Wick. Now, I found that really off-putting. And secondly, I was thinking, is this a commentary on fanboys and how they turn toxic and they try to kill you with their love by the end of it? I might be drawing too long a bow, but it really seemed out of kilter to everything else in the film, because everyone else is just the full-on professionals, and then you got this one guy who's a bit odd. The second thing I wanted to talk about is there is a real problem with this film, and I couldn't talk about it until spoilers, which is there is a scene in the beginning in like a museum of armaments, and especially the knife museum is one of the best action scenes I've seen in maybe 10 years. Like, it is outstanding. The choreography is great. It's delightful. I really loved it. And this is about 20 minutes into the film, and I went, my God, this is going to be great. The problem, because normally you have a pretty good fight scene, then in the middle, a very good, and then the big bad, you throw everything at the screen. What I found was that was the best fight scene in the whole film. The Halle Berry one with the dogs was fun because she was involved, but it goes way too long. And also it's kind of stupid the whole way it starts. But anyway, that's a different thing. The fight scene at the end, which is a kind of little bit of a nod to Kung Fu cinema, which often had scenes involving, like famously, Bruce Lee in the Mirror Maze, just doesn't work. And so it's kind of a weird thing that it doesn't build in terms of its action. And I found that, so I was actually more bored at the end than I was at the beginning, which is kind of odd. Look, this is a fun film. I love it when you get the backstory. So I actually wrote this down in the cinema like an idiot. So when he goes to the Russian outpost, like an embassy really, it's part of the high table. You know, they still follow orders, but they seem to be a little bit out of school. And it's a ballet school. It's great. It's kind of like Red Sparrow meets John Wick. They say John Wick's real name, which is Jordani Jovanovic, and from Belarus. And I love that. I love it when you just a throwaway line, but that character becomes more alive when you hear that. Anyway, that's it. This is short. John Wick, you're either in or you're out. There's not too much to explore apart from great fighting choreography. If you like what I'm doing, hit the like. More people then see my stuff. Subscribe. I'm always putting up stuff weekly, if not even more lately. And I'm on Twitter at Guru Eden, and I look forward to talking. And if you don't agree, put it in the comments. I love a great debate. Okay, see you. Bye.